Oh no, my microphone was on this entire time. Whoops.
welcome all of the people in the meeting. Not that we have a whole lot today, but welcome all of you regardless. Not a whole lot to go over this month. The agenda already posted as usual. I will post a link to it in the chat. I will stick that in the meeting chat right there. If anybody isn't looking at it already, which I only see 2 people looking at it, so there must be quite a few people not looking at it. Oh, there we go. Now there's suddenly a lot of people looking at it. So as before, I won't bore you with the details. The updates and reminders, I will leave those for you to just read, and feel free to ask questions if you would like. If you are voice enabled in this chat, just go ahead and ask, or just unmute yourself and ask. If you're not voice enabled, you can there's a text channel called meetings inside the Discord server. You can post your questions there. Ghost, are you still keeping an eye on the YouTube chat?
Yep.
I think Kay is doing that.
Okay. Or someone is keeping an eye on the YouTube chat.
Yeah. We got it.
There aren't usually very many questions in there, but just in case there is.
Quick comment, at least on one of the topics, the sanitization supplies.
Mm-hmm.
I know we can get, in terms of probably fairly easily getting like small bottles of hand sanitizer. Have we looked into the touchless stations?
That's going to depend a lot on how much the GSR has and how much they
Okay.
can distribute for us. Like, I'd much rather leverage what they already have
Okay.
than have to buy our own or rent our own.
Okay.
Theoretically, they have a lot of them now, but I don't know.
I suspect they may not, and that's why I was concerned about whether or not we can either get some ourselves or look into even if that's even possible at this point, considering demand.
Yeah. I mean, I get the feeling that the GSR probably has what they think is enough, or at least what's like, if there's any sort of legal requirement of how many they're supposed to have. But I get the feeling that's going to be less than what we all think is enough. But
Definitely.
But then you can put them all over the place, but people got to actually use the damn things too.
Yeah. And the second thing was just you mentioned rubber gloves. Just someone made a comment to me. Just wanted to make sure that they are nitrile gloves, non-rubber, non-latex.
Yeah, they'll be nitrile.
Okay.
Wear.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I actually changed the word from nitrile to rubber because I wasn't sure if I figured more people would know what rubber is than nitrile, but there's no reason for me not to just put both words there. I actually had written nitrile gloves there last month. But yeah, I think I'm still of the opinion that even if it's just for the sake of fighting Concrud, we should still be doing everything we can, hygiene wise. Come June.
It's the absolutely safe thing to do.
Probably also want to have someone that can wipe down surfaces and whatnot that are commonly touched.
Mm-hmm.
Equipment,
Buttons,
whatnot.
doorways,
Yeah.
etc.
At least to the best of our ability, right? I mean, we only have so many volunteers.
Right.
But just gonna try our best, do everything we can, and arm people with the tools to be safe, and hope they can use them.
Yep.
Mic check.
That works.
Okay.
So.
Was that Verdauga? You were very quiet.
I would suggest setting dates for this is the date we're going to start looking into exactly what processes we should have, and this is the date we need to have decisions done by, because we may know radically different things about this virus in 6 months.
Right.
Is this any better?
Yes, that's fine.
I agree with Kay that having dates and deadlines helps a lot, both with the planning and with the knowing when it's too early to plan and all that.
Yeah, it's like obviously I don't want to start ordering supplies yet because not only do we not know how much we're really going to need, but a lot of that stuff doesn't have that big of a shelf life either. Although I noticed Lysol wipes don't appear to have a shelf life at all. Like when
Well,
I
if it has a
bought
long
a
shelf
tub,
life,
it just had no date on it at all, just lock codes.
Those have actually started to appear in the wild again.
Oh, actual Lysol wipes and not just
Yeah,
marketing ones?
I got myself 2 of them.
Ooh.
Wow.
2 individual wipes.
Yes, just 2 sheets.
I've been buying 2 more tubs at Winco pretty much every time I go grocery shopping, and just with the intent of donating them to the con when the time comes. So I've been kind of stocking up on them. But I don't think it's probably super wise for me to do any kind of like broad call for people to donate those kind of supplies, because either we're going to end up with way too much, or we're going to not get enough, or it's going to be so questionable sourcing that it's not
I
usable
wouldn't
anyway.
Oh
I
man.
wouldn't say a call for it, but if people want to, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, from within our volunteers, certainly, if
Yeah.
they want to bring extras and of their own accord, go right ahead. I'm not going to complain.
Man,
I
rip,
know I'm going to be bringing my own gloves, as no one's going to be stocking extra large.
rip anyone who wants to buy like rubbing alcohol at the Walmart during the con. That's
Oh no.
110% going to be out of stock.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
We should warn them.
Please
It
bring
runs,
your own.
it runs out every year.
Oh, it's going to run out extra fast this time.
Yeah. Rubbing alcohol it's a functional hand sanitizer, but it's not as good of a hand sanitizer as drinking alcohol, it turns out. Just amusingly.
Drinking alcohol
I
just
did
is really
some
good
reading.
to clean your hands.
Yes, because
Just having a drink.
concentration of water, right?
No, it's because of I guess the alcohol itself is a little bit
Oh.
more
Oh, the
is a little bit
ethanol.
more
Right.
it attacks particularly bacteria. It doesn't matter so much for viruses, I
Aggressive.
don't think, but
Aggressive is the word. Yeah.
Yeah, drunk booze
Okay.
is more aggressive than
than rubbing booze.
I was wondering why all of the rubbing alcohol you see in stores nowadays is now ethyl alcohol.
Probably just because production was ramped up really hard
Yep.
on ethyl alcohol to try to meet the demand for hand sanitizer. Right, like a lot of the distilleries and stuff were specifically diverting their
Yeah.
diverting stuff to making hand sanitizer, which is why a lot of it kind of smells pretty bad, because they were not bothering to actually distill and clean up that alcohol before they turned it into hand sanitizer, because nobody was going to drink it. And then people started drinking it.
It's
and
partially
people
because
started going blind.
Yeah, it's partially because it's denatured, and that's why people are going blind.
I mean, isn't that
Those
methanol?
people who are
And
drinking
methyl alcohol.
But those people who are drinking hand sanitizer are also idiots.
This
So-
year has been so great.
I mean, you never could drink hand sanitizer before. I don't know why people started trying now.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
An influential member of government said it was fine to put things in your body.
All right. Back on track, though, for the meeting. What else do we have to go over as far as sanitation goes? Are we going to think about enforcing space requirements after some of the restrictions are lifted as well? Or are we still going to try and hold some kind of distance?
Well, it's going to be dependent on what the rules in place are at the time, but I think we can try to keep people 6 feet apart where it makes sense, but I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of places where that's just simply not going to be possible.
6 feet would not be possible in a bunch of locations.
Right.
So if we're still at 6 feet, I'd be a little bit concerned. However, if we're a little bit more lax on that, just basic hygiene by that point,
Mhm.
all willing, then yeah, I'd say like 4, 3.5 is like minimum spacing would be good.
Yeah, when we do Generally, when we've done layouts, we consider a person to be a 3-foot square.
Yep.
Just when we've done layouts in the past, or like in a setting for a like stage audience or whatever. I think we've generally considered that to be each chair to actually be a 3-foot square, even though they're smaller than that.
Just about.
So, but a seated person does take up approximately a 3-foot square, with a little bit of elbow room. Right, that's comfortable spacing. What's what we use for dealers, that kind of thing. So, like if people can safely be 3 feet apart instead of 6, then that's probably not really a whole lot different than just having no distancing requirements at all. But again, I think if we're still have to keep people 6 feet apart, especially if we have to keep people 6 feet apart in lines or in audiences, like that's going to be a very, very tall order, and that's going
It
to
would be.
Yeah.
well, like we've already figured out, that's going to reduce us down to a maximum of like 1,100 people in the biggest room they have, and that's if there's nothing else in the room. That's literally if there's just people standing on a 6-foot grid in the
Oh
room
my gosh.
with no stage, no seats, no tables, no nothing. That's only a
So
fifth of the convention attendance. And like in my talks with the hotel, like they're pretty much on the same page that like, yeah, that's not really workable.
So I've suggested this to you in private, but I wanted to bring it up. We should see if the GSR is amicable to sending the program feed from the video department up to the rooms through the cable system. It's technologically possible. Just sell it as that's less people to crowd into the ballroom and summit pavilion and stuff downstairs.
Right. That's also less people using the elevators too. That's another good selling point.
Oh yeah.
Right. If people can still view and participate, or at least view events without having to leave their hotel rooms.
It might also bring up participants in con theme as well. A lot of people up in their rooms are busy with their friends and they don't want to pull themselves away to go watch opening ceremonies. If people could just toss it up on the TV, I think a very large percentage of the rooms would just do that.
I
At
mean, I was totally up with the idea of doing that. The first couple of years I was at FC when they were still having stuff on the in building TV. It was like, nah, I'm in my room. I'm comfortable. I got drinks here. I don't want to deal with elevators. Screw it. I'll just watch it I'll watch it in my room. Like
at
that was really nice. That was very convenient. I like that.
at Vancouver, we observed that at like a good 50% of the room parties would just put on the dance's music and then just call that good.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hasn't the convention center or the hotel been opposed to the TV thing in past because of some form of exposure to non-furries?
Yes, they are still leery about it. Even I think even when we offered the possibility of just giving them an e-stop button for the stream and giving them like a 15-second delay,
Hmm.
but I think they still I think they were maybe willing to do it, but we would have had to pay one of their people their normal like going rate to basically sit there and watch the stream and hover their hand over the e-stop.
We could have the guy who we pay to sleep in the back of front of house do that.
Oh, are we stuck having to have somebody anyway?
We have to have
nowadays?
a room. We have to have a room lead in that room. So
Okay.
the guy basically sits there, occasionally drives around the fork or not the forklift. Well, actually the forklift one year, but the scissor lift and whatnot. But like 90% of the time, he is just either sitting there reading stuff on his phone or sleeping, or trying to not look like he's sleeping.
I see. Rough job.
Somebody's got to do it.
It's a dirty job.
That's pretty standard practice, though. Like I think FC has to have that too, and a lot of other cons. Like there has to be one person present from
FC has to have
official AV. Well,
basically
yeah, FC is its own crazy monster because of
all
unions.
union
but,
people. If we want to have a volunteer running a station, we actually have to pay for a union person to sit around and not run it.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what their rate is or how many hours of content we produce, but the amount that it would cost to pay somebody based on my estimations is really not that bad. If we did
No,
have to have somebody
it's
sit
actually
there.
probably not. For the amount of potential people that would divert away from from using elevators and crowding into main stage, that might actually be.
Yeah, in accounting speak, I would call it an immaterial amount.
Yeah. And especially if we have to have a person there anyway, if that person can just be the one who's hovering their hand on e-stop, then it becomes zero cost. Alternatively, we might talk to the hotel about seeing if they can set up if they can set up something on their network instead of on their TV, so that if somebody is on their guest network, they can go to a specific like URL that doesn't actually leave the building and just diverts back to an internal stream instead of having to go out to YouTube and then bring it back in again.
Somebody in the chat mentioned, and I don't know if this is possible, doing a pay-per-view thing, but with the price at zero. But I think most hotels outsource that these days.
I had the same consideration that we
Oh,
could
yeah.
have
Hmm.
possibly tied it into one of their packaging systems for their TVs, but we would need to know the full extent of what their software is capable of and what the delivery system looks like, or even if it's something we could interface with that isn't a third-party software.
Yeah.
Hmm. And should
So
explore.
this
Hey, I
is
wonder if do you think
this
that
is
might be worth asking if there's a way that like their system that normally deals with pay-per-view or other stuff like that can be modified or can be shoehorned into requiring an access code or something like that to watch a particular content.
This is absolutely worth asking about. Yes. I don't believe it'll be possible, but in the
So
off chance that it is, we
I'm trying to
should.
ask Kay if we've already asked that or if we already
Oh,
checked into that.
I am not entirely aware of what Keiko has said to them. I think Keiko was mostly concentrating on we can add a delay to it and we can have someone monitor it.
Yeah, I don't think either of us thought
I-
about potentially putting a quote unquote paywall in front of it that isn't really a paywall, but is a like access code.
I remember from the notes that I've seen from DEF CON TV that when they're in the Rio kind of wanted to do that, and they're capable of doing that, but they eventually were like, fuck it, we have HBO. There's much worse shit on HBO, so never mind.
Oh, yeah,
That is a good point.
I wish we could get the GSR to feel that way.
Just tell them that
Right.
CSI
I mean,
episode.
they're worried about someone's 8-year-old kid like wandering to the channel that has our convention content.
Okay, so we just have them set their encoder for TVMA, and then their stuff will automatically recognize that in theory.
Well, yeah, but I doubt any parent actually sets up the TV to block that kind of stuff when.
Yes, but that's like their kid can see us or Game of Thrones or whatever on Showtime. So
or on
like,
Skinemax.
yeah.
Ah, good old Skinemax.
That sounds like a machine for taking the skins off of potatoes.
Nah, it's the old nickname for the cable channel Cinemax, which was another competitor to HBO. I don't know if they even still exist anymore.
I think they do.
I think I'm dating myself here, but oh well.
Well, we could always like just hack HBO so that it goes up to the HBO satellite and then comes back.
I don't think Wolfforce. I don't think that it is a liability issue as much as just the hotel being twitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the actual reason that they don't want it is that they are worried about their high rollers getting pissed off about it.
That's true. They're probably a lot more worried about their high rollers than they are about someone's 8-year-old kid. Unless it's a high roller's 8-year-old kid.
What if the 8-year-old's the high roller?
Oh.
Then somebody is not doing their job. If
I
the
think
eight-
for that
the
to happen, a
8-year-old
lot
is,
of people to not be
is
doing their
managing to
job.
do high roller gambling or any gambling.
We
He's
call
a
him.
master of disguise.
We call him the shot caller.
He uses
No,
a baby
yeah.
monitor to talk to mom and dad.
Yeah, by the way, if you see an 8-year-old playing blackjack, you might want to let someone know. That's turns out that's not legal in this state.
But if it's craps, fine.
Before or after we post it to TikTok?
After, obviously, that only takes
Tell
a
you
couple
what.
seconds, right?
Film it, then let them know, and then you can post it to TikTok afterwards. Or film them getting kicked out.
Yeah, film it and then let the security guards there escorting you off the gaming floor because you're filming something on the gaming floor know that what you're filming. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Although also don't film 8-year-olds. Like, not a good idea. That's really a bad idea pretty much everywhere. Anyway.
I would say, except at, elementary school talent shows, which you shouldn't film anyways because they're horrible.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, talk to every parent ever who has filmed their kid from well,
Well, I guess the difference is filming them without them knowing that you're filming them. For the latest
We
for the
should
latest viral
change
video.
subjects.
Moving on.
Let's change subject.
Are we gonna? Do we want to show the virtual stuff? Or do we want to do anything else first?
Are there more questions about the updates? I'm surprised nobody's asking questions about the room reservations, but
One person asked if it was emailed to people.
I don't
if the
think anybody
GSRs
got
were out
notified of.
notifications.
I don't think anybody got notified of anything.
I got
I
an
did not.
email saying that
I did not.
they moved the reservation to June of next year.
Oh, you did?
So it seems very inconsistent as to whether somebody got an email or any kind of notification.
Yeah.
That's not surprising.
they have
I
out a lot of spam, so I may have just accidentally swiped right on it.
I called the hotel and they confirmed that yes, it's in June and it's all set.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, presumably they've done that with everybody. They've told us that they've done that with everybody, but it's just like, people are still nervous, and there's probably going to be the occasional person here or there that got missed, and they'll maybe get charged for a no-show on October 31st, and then they'll just file a chargeback with their card issuer, and that's
Just
will
call
be
the
the
hotel
GSR's problem and not
And the
ours.
hotel will undo it anyways, because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Hopefully they'll
chargeback is
just call
more
the
hassle.
hotel.
Just call the hotel.
Yeah, hopefully they'll call the hotel.
Because
I guess
if
we
you
could
file a
say something
chargeback,
to
that's
that
actually
effect.
worse. You might not
I
get
suppose
it.
we could say something to that effect of like, I guess we'd have to check with them first, but as long as they're okay with it, say something to that effect of, we're pretty sure everybody's been moved. We're pretty sure nobody's going to get charged. Accidents happen. Odds are someone's still going to get charged for not showing up. If that happens, just call and they will fix it. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to be nice, you could ask, but I can't even imagine that they would even need to be asked for that kind of thing. That's just basic what a hotel reservation department does.
Yeah,
I posted the text of what they sent in the meeting note or meeting chat.
Okay.
They still want to see you this year. Yeah, well, so does my mom, but I told her I'm not flying during the pandemic.
Just drive there.
My mom lives in Southern California. I don't want to make that drive.
That's only 2 days.
It could
I
be
have
your
done
first. It could be your first cross country flight.
No, it definitely could not be my first cross country flight. That would be a horrible, horrible choice. Yes, let's make my first one be into SoCal airspace.
Sink
At
or
least,
swim.
Yeah,
It could be worse. It could be Portland.
no, SoCal airspace is worse.
SoCal airspace, they get bitchy at you for doing stuff like turning a half a mile before your turn and stuff
that's
like
right.
that.
It's
That's
a very
right. You
busy,
have
crowded airspace.
That's right. You have a pilot's license. I forgot.
Student.
Also terrifying.
Yeah. So you're talking about as a pilot, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just using the pandemic as an excuse to not have to deal with the politics that will be around Thanksgiving.
Oh dear.
It's like, you know what? I can't make it this year because of the pandemic. I totally want to be there, Republican mom and dad.
Wasn't Thanksgiving on Monday?
No, it's
another
end of
country.
November.
In a different country.
Was Canadian Thanksgiving Monday?
Canadian Thanksgiving is always a month ahead, so it was
It
pretty
was
recent.
Monday? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Canadian Thanksgiving is always like a month ahead, and also almost always right next to Trappa's birthday.
Last year, Clinton sent me a picture of his Thanksgiving spread, which was an intentionally ghetto Thanksgiving spread of like a packet of mashed potatoes and a jar of Heinz gravy and like rotisserie chicken
Oh,
from
no.
Costco.
Last
I
year we
was
just
like,
did
I
chicken falafel.
approve.
Yeah, for me, Thanksgiving dinner is tasty, but not often worth the effort.
So, getting back to the other updates, do we want to go ahead and do the virtual event?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm ready
Yeah.
for that.
Okay.
If there's no other questions, it would be great if Josie would be kind enough to show off what they have so far.
Sure thing. Let me get the screen share going, but to suffix that, preface that, basically we are looking at doing a bit of a pre-con virtual event. So if anyone's played VR chat before, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, replicating the con space in VR. And here we go. If that'll do 720. Oh, I can't do 1080. Oh well. Here you go.
You have to pay for that.
And let me switch the stream over to that as well. And
So people know if you're in the call, you can click on the name of the voice channel and then click on watch stream for the person who is live.
yeah, I'll let everyone just kind of figure that out while I put this on the live stream as well.
Now, of course, we should also preface that what we have right now is photographic scans, which are obviously very rough, but those are useful to, as I think, was I accurate in describing that essentially this is like the 3D version of tracing a photo? When
Yeah,
you go to model these spaces in actual 3D.
pretty much. So basically, we rolled around a scanner through various parts of the building just for reference purposes, so we can go in later and clean it up and make it look really pretty. But what we have already is super usable for that, which is awesome. Here's the
So
lobby.
this is what you intend to follow when modeling the.
Essentially, yes. We already have the exterior of the building done.
And that's an import from Google Earth.
Yeah, so all of this is very obviously Google. You could tell the cars are like Hagrid levels of detail.
Tell because of all the cars.
But the building was remade by hand, for example. So this is all clean topology. If I go in here, this all
So
looks clean.
this was like one of the first things you did was the exterior of the building.
Yes, just a kind of a proof of concept. Oops, wrong button. So pool's been done, kind of ish. Just proof of concept, really. Just make it look nice.
The scanner really didn't like that chandelier, did it?
Oh no.
The chandelier, it
It's-
actually looks okay compared to some of the other stuff, but that's just because it already is just a mass of crystal anyway.
The chandelier is entirely made of mirrors, so you can imagine scanning a mirror
Looks
is
perfect,
hard.
just like that. Like just keep it exactly like that.
Looks like
Fine.
a pile of
Perfect.
multicolored mulch. But
Looks like Asgard from all the Marvel movies.
this area is also a bit abstract looking. But check this out. So we got the little Second Street Market here, to a degree. This little. Oh, and also it's been pretty much remodeled. A lot of this has been changed. If everyone hasn't seen it.
You should put an MGM lion in somewhere.
I was gonna say you should make sure we do the elevators so that you can make people wait in them for a while.
Dude, here, look at this. Isn't that pretty?
Do you believe we did in fact get a scan of the interior of the elevators?
It's a small space anyways.
The ooze is coming out of the third floor. I see. Nice.
There we go.
Also, unfortunately, I got to run, but I'll talk
There's
to you all
also
later.
some random thing just floating and waiting for the elevators there. Like,
That looks like the sign.
Oh, there's a
That's
sign.
the sign they put there.
Yeah.
mm.
Um.
Oh, that was probably the 4 people to an elevator sign.
Actually, yeah, I think so. Hang
That's totally stay there as like a random character that you can approach or something.
on. You could almost read it. It says COVID-19 warning on it.
Mhm.
Oh, and the best scan yet is the suite. We scanned a suite. And of course I put it right where it was in reality. Check this out.
So everybody can have a room party.
Yeah. The GSR was gracious enough to let us put these little like markers everywhere in their lobby, so that was fun.
Which I assume you took back down after you were done. But
Nah, we just kept them there. No,
you
just
kept them there?
no,
all
just
walked away.
They've all been framed now as abstract art.
well, yeah.
Do that if I owned a hotel would just be like, this is abstract art now, just all over the hotel. You scan it, it'll do something, but I don't care.
But yeah, I
And-
believe the intent is to do sort of a prototype event, like a couple months before the con?
Yeah, just sort of see
Something
how it
along those
goes,
lines.
and then if
Oh,
everything
looks like you
goes
modeled
well,
that too, the
I-
parking area.
I did a little
Yeah.
partial model for that, just for fun. But yeah, I think the
was
idea
gonna
here.
say-
Sorry.
I
No, I
have
was
a
gonna-
question.
Yeah.
Would it make more sense to try to model this with textures that actually look like the real building so that it's more useful for a longer period of time? Or would it perhaps be more, would it be faster and easier to model it using, to use textures that are all cyberpunk themed and make it look like, it's the same layout, it's the same physical
Oh man.
arrangement, but it's like maybe what it would look like 100 years in the future.
I believe what Gaines had mentioned was it would be really cool if we basically modeled it as is and then put up virtual sort of holograms and cool cyberpunk things. And then he's working on, well, I don't know if I'm actually at liberty to say, but
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. That
basically,
was just an idea that just now popped into my head of like maybe
yeah,
that would be faster and easier because then you're not trying to go for photorealism.
right.
Right. If you're not trying to match something that already exists, then you have a lot more creative liberty to just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, you're right. Recreating all these little details is gonna take a hot minute, which is, a good segue into the sponsor of this video. No, I'm just kidding. We need assistance. We need assistance with basically remodeling things, taking this rough scan data, making it clean, getting good textures like recreating marble and carpet, and making chairs and light fixtures.
I think you need to leave that one person in red at registration. Because
The Hagrid?
That's security.
It's PS1 Hagrid.
I mean, that just looks like a platypus to me.
It's the security person slumped over the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Josie, I would just because it was amusing, I would really love for you to show the scan of the Nevada room.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Where it went just completely Inception on you and folded in on itself.
Okay.
It's pretty spectacular.
I can do that. Just one moment if you want to like distract while I bring that up.
Actually, I will really quick. I'm gonna be putting a link into the meeting chat. We definitely do need 3D modelers to help with this project. If you are interested or know someone who is, please send them this form. I am absolutely happy to give them volunteer benefits, and they can come on and help out.
Now it's time to talk about Skillshare.
And if you're not, I'm just not gonna go there.
No.
Use the promo code.
I'm trying to remember which file it was. Hang on, bear with me.
On the subject of learning new skills, I believe it was there in the updates, but the generator offering is still a thing too, for locals here. If you want to go use the makerspace.
Come on, Discord, change windows. Hang on, I think I have to stop streaming to change the window.
Yeah, I found it's easier that way.
And last I heard from Amenephis, I think they were mostly done moving. That the generator is mostly done moving to its new location.
I was just about to ask, where are they now? Are they still in quasi limbo state?
Well, I think they have a lease and they have a location. I just don't know how much of the move is finished.
Gotcha.
Oh, this isn't the right one. We did get this part though. So of course we'll eventually do the full convention space.
Complete with model preview watermark.
Yeah, gotta love the model preview. We also got the other side of this. We had to do it multiple parts because this actually takes a lot of data to scan this stuff.
Yeah, I mean this is like many gigabytes of RAM used up very quickly.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, so I scanned this with a laptop, and all the previews are on the laptop. So I'm just kind of guessing which file is which.
Oh, I see.
So
time to send you guys a NAS.
a NAS.
Speaking of which, yeah. I picked up a couple more 12 terabyte hard drives from Amazon on Prime Day.
Oh, cool. Good. Because videos use a lot of data.
Yep.
We're hoping to use less this year, if this year happens.
There you go. Also not
this
the right
year,
one.
This year will eventually happen. It just might not happen this year.
One of these days. One of these years.
Yeah, just the...
The model viewer in this thing is really cumbersome to use.
And again, it goes to point out these are just for reference. They will not actually be.
Yeah.
It'll be more detailed.
Yeah, no, you're looking at the rough cut, the absolute raw data. Maybe it was this one.
You know, now I'm thinking about adding some hover text to the website. Or like if you hover your mouse on the date of the con, it just says like March 425th, 2020.
One of those things where every time you load the page, it's different.
Well, no, the joke of it still feeling like March. It's just like, right? It's like today is like
this is the March that never ends.
275th or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Big 242.
This was a pretty good scan. Again, still not the Nevada room, but this is like one of the.
It's my room.
It's your room.
I was just about
you, FunOps.
Hey.
We might not be able to use that room.
Oh no.
Oh, wait till you see my room.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your room is
I might have to move in with you for Dalgum.
It's a modern artwork, masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's just that if there's still any issues with distancing, I'm not putting 3 staffers in that little box.
Right.
But I already have a plan for that, so that's fine.
Can you even put one in there?
I could put one in there, but if I have to move everybody, I'll probably do the thing that I sent you.
Okay.
Or use it for something else, because I think it's just confusing if you have multiple locations. We'll certainly use the room for something.
Yeah, I remember that you had a plan. I just don't remember the specifics of it anymore. But
it was using curtain walls to direct people to the inner roll-up window, which has a lot more space.
Yeah, that was my initial thought.
That's right. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea anyway, but it does make it a little harder to control people trying to sneak into the main con space. That's the only disadvantage. But
I mean, if you give us enough walls, we can make it happen and get into the space without really hurting themselves.
Don't mind me. Struggling to find the file.
Build a brick wall.
Or just
Who's
put
going
up
to pay for it?
Just put up pipe and drape, put all the road cases right against the pipe and drape, and then put more pipe and drape on the other side of it. So you just have a wall of road cases that somebody has to try and crawl through. if they're trying to sneak through, and it's like,
I'm going to be sneaky. Nope,
Oh.
I just face planted into a case.
yeah, it's
Also,
like I'm going to be
it would
sneaky.
be-
Oh, I just
There we go.
knocked down a 5-foot tall stack of road cases because I was trying to be sneaky.
That curtain wall would be being looked at directly by like 3 ops people at all times. So
Oh, okay, so that's
like not
pretty
not
much a
intentionally,
non-issue.
like they might be looking to the side or something, but it would be.
Oh yeah,
directly
but I mean,
across
it'll be
the
right
screen.
in front of their faces. Yeah, it would be. That's true.
Isn't there a company that built like their
Oh,
product
no, that's not the one. Oh, it is.
made out of basically Legos?
Wait, no, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Wait,
Yeah, that's
what?
the one I remember.
It's like Nevada.
Yes.
It's missing the middle
That's-
pillars. Huh.
Ah.
That's weird.
Wow, that's an interesting alignment.
It was a
Yeah.
lot worse. It like fixed itself. Huh. That's interesting.
It was a lot worse.
Huh. I'll take a free fix. Okay. Like,
Is that the new concept in hotel convention spaces? Spiral convention spaces?
oh, it was like a full spiral. It was going crazy. I don't know what happened. It's weird.
And then once you optimized it, it just turned into a ball of
Oh,
disaster.
it was a literal like ball of room. But yeah, we also got the side rooms and whatnot. So got
Lost my...
Not all of them, right? Just a couple of them.
whichever like 3 and 4 back here.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like we need all of them.
Yeah. I also got the summit and the downstairs one. What's that one?
I mean, it's not like we can
Silver
replicate
Stage.
the video gaming area anyway.
Silver State
Should-
Pavilion,
yeah.
English Den.
Should I send the bundle of PDF files with the architectural drawings of Summit and whatever the ballroom is called?
I
to
think I
somebody?
already have those. Those are the ones that are on their website. Unless
Ones on
they're
their
like,
website are crappy.
unless
but
they're like legit architectural ones, I'll take them.
I'll take them too.
We have ones that dictate where you connect to on the high steel.
No, that's probably more accurate than the drawing on their website.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, their website's crap.
Yeah, the drawings on their website are quite rough. There's definitely not like inch precision on those drawings.
I mean, there's not
Probably
even foot
Foot
precision.
precision.
Because
yeah.
I based my layouts on them. Their design of the ConOps room is literally just, let's just make it a box. Nobody's actually going to need to know what this thing is, and it's just completely wrong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's meant for the sales team, not for people who actually need to measure things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but like getting actual CAD drawings out of them has proven to be difficult. They usually
Well,
just end up
other-
referencing back to those same sales drawings. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, the thing is that they don't have CAD drawings. They have drawings from when the building was built in 1973, which are also available at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas.
I guess those are like a public filing of some sort.
They have a bunch of weird collections of stuff from public records.
Like, I don't think it has to be public record necessarily, but they just chose to do it.
After that many years.
Most counties and cities like record the actual like rough architectural drawings of buildings and store those. So yeah.
Tycho, I put the layout thing in the meeting text channel, in case you're curious.
I have something like this, but it looks like you added some. Yeah, I have this one. Pretty sure.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, this one got.
Ice
weirdly
Leviathan
aligned.
asks if we're going to model the bathrooms.
We have that.
I
We
did.
have that scan.
I did not scan the bathrooms.
Did we not?
No, well, yeah, the suite one, yes.
Oh, okay.
not,
Regular
the public
bathroom,
not
not
the
so much.
public. I'm not gonna scan that. That's too,
No.
no, I was not about to wheel a scanner into a public bathroom.
Oh, I just saw Veritas's comment about having bought a laser cutter. That might well be a thing. I might take you up on that.
Just as long as I don't make myself go blind.
Please don't.
Silicon Puma, is that a Portal reference?
No, I think it's just a really big number.
Okay. Because there's that part when you wake up in Portal 2.
9, 9, 9, 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
but there's like also a gap where it's just like 9, 9, 9, 8, 9.
Oh man, what happened?
50,000 years.
This is weird. Okay, so on my laptop it's much more complete. I don't know why. Oh well. Tis strange.
Oh, so Verta, thanks for reminding me about the ConOps concept.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, again, all of this is quite in flux until it gets closer.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and take some amount of active interest in making sure that I have some idea of where everything is and what departments have, thought of for potential things, operations type stuff.
Yeah, I just really hope that like we're not going to have to try to make this convention happen with keeping people 6 feet apart, because like even if we can do that in the convention spaces, that still makes the elevators unusable. Like
4
Yeah.
people in an elevator at a time. Oh
Four-
boy.
yeah, 4 in an elevator at a time right now is just basically a complete non-starter. It's like I don't see how that's even remotely possible.
So we get disposable oxygen hoods.
Yeah, it's like the elevators are already overloaded even when we can pack as many people in there shoulder to shoulder. Like how on earth are they going to be anything resembling usable if they're still restricted to only 4 people?
Cut the top out of the elevator and then put in a auto repair shop exhaust fan. That'll just pull all of the air out.
I sent Josie the Summit Pavilion diagram.
Oh, cool.
It's janky, but it has the dimensions in it.
Yeah, that'll be helpful for lining things up. That's what I did for the current stuff here. We obtained a floor plan and were able to kind of put the puzzle pieces together, help line things up a bit better. Actually,
So Verta,
surprisingly,
I
lines
suppose
up
a
well.
pandemic elevator could be like a steel grating on the floor that's actually just open, and then a great big fan in the roof that's also just got a grating over it, and you just like blow laminar downward flow in the elevator all the time.
So an
You just have
elevator
to then
clean
exhaust. You just have to exhaust the elevator shaft then.
I'm picturing like that giant fan scene in Willy Wonka.
I mean, I'm just thinking like the Tower of
Yeah,
Terror.
that,
Disney,
but pointing the other
at
direction.
Disneyland. The Tower of Terror at Disneyland, it already does that.
Yeah.
The ride vehicle already has like mesh grating for floor and ceiling because it doesn't need any more air resistance than it's already dealing with.
Right.
And or
That-
insert
that-
joke about the ride taking your breath away.
That quote about, or that quote unquote elevator.
I mean, if
Yeah,
the
it's
concern
totally
is,
an elevator.
if the concern is
It's-
exhaled particles, right? Like like strong downward airflow that goes somewhere else instead of stirring into the room does
Yeah.
solve the problem.
Yeah.
But-
Well, if you think about it enough, it's kind of like a turbo lift, because the cars are like several cars, and they move in various directions, and then they move really fast.
They're accelerated faster than gravity down, yeah. It's an interesting ride system. It's more interesting in Florida, but both of them are interesting. The Florida one has the whole like the ride vehicle moves out of the elevator shaft in more than just a straight line.
Are you guys being Star Trek nerds for a second there?
No, Disney.
Oh.
I mean, Kay might have been being a Star Trek nerd. I'm being a Disney parks nerd.
I just saw an article earlier
you can
today
be
of
both.
somebody who.
Yeah, you can be both.
I saw an article today of somebody who like made a business out of babysitting other people's children by taking their children to Disney World for the day. So they just bought a pass, and they just, when they take care of a kid for the day, they take the kid off to Disney World, and then the parents get to have the day to themselves. And the kid has a friggin' blast, and the person who's watching the kid also has fun because they're a big Disney nerd,
Yeah.
and they just never get tired of the park. I don't know, it's pretty cool.
As long as you don't get tired of kids.
Well, some people don't.
Nope, some people don't.
I am not one of those people.
Wait, do kids get in free or something on a pass?
No.
I don't think so, but
it's just a way of like the person has a pass, and then the parent probably pays for the ticket for the kid.
yeah, the article didn't go into details about how that worked, but
And then
like,
and then the parents get to have an entire day without their child, and their child is happy about it.
right.
And so if you're
Yeah,
upper middle class, that's or beyond, that's definitely for you.
Yeah, to me, that sounds like a pretty great win-win from both the parents' perspective and from the babysitter's perspective. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I can make like family arguments as to why it's not great, but yeah, otherwise pretty good.
Getting back here really quick, just back in terms of the 3D modeling. I know Ice mentioned he was interested. Please just fill out that form just for the sake of we can get that information on file.
Oh, did you post the form link?
Yeah,
yes, I did. It's in the meeting chat.
Awesome.
Wonderful. If you also, if anybody,
it's in there right after Sykin said no bathtub full of beer. I'm just gonna, say that completely out of context just for fun.
Okay. You do that. Yeah, if you also know anyone else who might be interested, please pass this along. Please spread the word.
I've already given you the limits of my expertise.
No, and we thank you for that. This is, the more help we can get, the easier this will be, and the more successful this will be.
Sure.
Look, I can do the accounting for your 3D model.
Perfect. We have a limited budget for hiring modelers.
Budget is 0.
It's actually
the budget more or less is 0.
We have a pretty cool
zero like real cost. There's some intangible costs, but
I mean, those are tangible costs, but yeah.
let me have my fantasies, Berta.
That's what the Disney parks are for.
Oh.
Hey, full circle.
Yeah. First rule of comedy. Gotta make your jokes in threes and bring it full circle. I guess that's 2 rules, not 1.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna say timing. Not gonna say timing.
This one looks a bit better in Unity.
So I'm excited that Josie and Gaines have, and I guess also Levi and Ed. Right? Was anybody else helping out with the scanning?
Just us.
Okay. Well, I think Josie, you went for like 24 hours or maybe even 25 hours straight.
Not that straight, but it was a full 3-4 days of just nonstop pushing carts around and walking big rooms. So
the next step is then to attach this to a Roomba.
Why didn't we think of that?
I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Oddly enough, that might actually work in the empty rooms. Or you might, if you hacked it or whatever and did its own custom pathing, but
so side note that I just thought of, in that in that 3D modeler application, Levi, we should probably make sure that people are aware that when this model is complete, we are going to be sharing it with the GSR.
Yes.
That was part of
the
GSR.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yeah. Like the GSR is going to get to benefit from their work.
Yes.
That is an important thing to note.
Okay.
The crazy part is like we got permission to scan the casino floor, and well, I can't imagine putting that in the game, but that would have been quite a task to do that. Obviously, didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I mean that'd be difficult because also, I mean, if you actually want to model it, you would want to model like the room and then put all the machines in separately.
Oh yeah,
But
exactly.
your scan wouldn't be that way.
No. Definitely not.
It's like
I
they're like, hey,
can
give
just
me.
posted a link to some measurements of the rooms. By the way,
Where's that?
In the meeting chat.
Oh, I found it. Never mind. Me big dumb.
Oh, okay. I will. Yeah, I will take as many different measurements as I can get because I have been immensely frustrated trying to.
Yeah, I think
build my own.
these are the ones that are on the website, I think.
Yeah, but he's actually measured certain dimensions.
yeah,
Yep.
he it looks like he sat down with a
Oh.
tape measure and actually measured specific walls.
Or
That's
laser.
good.
Yeah, like that's what I
Yes.
did for the con ops room, but I didn't do it for the other rooms because I don't live there.
If it makes you feel any better, we received a floor plan that was pretty darn up to date, and even that had some discrepancies.
Yeah, a few issues are fine, but like the things they have on their website under their events section are just way wrong.
Like how
So,
Syken just mentioned, the diagrams were right 40 years ago.
Yeah.
so what you're saying is AV should have on a would be nice list for Tuesday evening before the con, measure the Summit Pavilion and measure all the dimensions.
Let's just rent a LiDAR scanner.
Oh, well, yes, that's what we did. We scanned the Summit Pavilion, so we got
I was watching the
links.
same LiDAR scans you were, and it didn't look like it was that accurate.
Yeah.
Hang
on. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Well, and again, it's not crucial that this building be modeled exactly accurately down to the inch. Right?
Yeah, no. Like I think I don't think that there's anything wrong with what is going on so far.
No.
It's just more important that it looks right than it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just different there's different scanners for different purposes,
Yeah.
right? Like my brain goes to the kind of drone based scanners that they use to scan like oil refineries for leaks and stuff, because there's a place locally that rents those.
I'm trying to load up the thing again, but it's being a pain. I was gonna show how it lines up against the floor plan. Here we go. And don't worry, Tycho, this is a safe version. It's all good.
I'm sure there's a thing for that, but I'm just thinking there's the not safe for work version, huh?
It's a long story.
I think he means one that doesn't show like back hallways and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Just a public version. Anyways, so basically our scans lined up almost perfectly with like floor plans. So they're good within, I'd say, 3 inches, plus or minus 3 inches or so.
Oh, okay.
As far as like physical dimensions.
It's pretty damn good actually for.
Yes, it is.
Not drifting very much when moving that far down.
Yeah, I had to, of course, like kind of unbend some walls and stuff, but they were pretty darn spot on when it came down to it.
So it was a little warped, but you just warped it back into place.
A tiny bit, yeah. Yeah, it all kind of fits in there.
That is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Floor plans are anyway, so.
I think if you're doing the ridiculous precision level stuff, you have to put like a fixed object down and be like, this is where you are at, and then do an entire scan from this point, and then it's like, now here.
That was the I think that
The
was
tags.
the point of all those tags, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only actually.
It felt like were you moving as you were scanning? You said you were wheeling it around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like if you're doing the ridiculous levels of precision, you have to like fix a thing in place.
There's only one weird discrepancy here. I don't know what happened, but like the hallway that goes towards the convention center and like this bank of elevators, you can see where that lines up with little pegs there.
Yeah.
It's for some reason just this section is off, but I think like maybe the map is off.
So wait, line it back up again, or at least as best as it's able.
That's so weird.
No, they probably just moved that wall.
It's probably this half of the map is on a different file.
Yeah.
But it's no big deal.
I mean, that angled wall down there is wrong too.
Yeah.
In fact, it's wrong by the same amount. So grab that wall and just move it.
Yeah, see, if I put it there, then it lines up.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's probably just two different CAD files that are glued together wrong.
Yeah, probably. No big deal. But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty darn good. It's gonna be fun once we actually piece together the rest of the convention center back here and kind of have it so you can walk through the whole thing.
Out of curiosity, just for personal, I'm curiousness, is it is the data also, is there like a data layer without any of the imagery where it's just like no textures or whatever?
Oh, you're just looking for like this?
I don't care personally as much as I'm just curious. Okay, there is cool.
Yeah.
I've never used one of these. So.
Oh, that's okay.
Man,
that
is
wireframe
such
view.
Yeah, it looks very subterranean with the with how much bulging, smooth areas there are. Like when you take away the textures, it's like, oh, this is a cave now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not getting Fallout vibes.
Yeah.
It already was kind of a cave anyway. Like,
now it's a vault.
I mean, you go in this place and then you don't see the sun for 4 days, and then you go back outside again. It kind of is a cave.
A little bit, yeah.
It's a short-term vault.
If you've ever been in the Bally's Las Vegas and walked to the Paris Las Vegas, you go underground and you don't even really realize it.
Oh, it's like that if you're in Atlanta during a thunderstorm. Oh wait, no.
I remember
I had way
reading
too
that there
long
was
of a layover in Atlanta.
I think I remember reading there was some city in Canada that had some like underground.
Toronto.
Was it Toronto that had some underground
Toronto has-
passages between various businesses downtown?
It's an underground city. It's not passages. It's like a full-on like Mall of America sized type of thing. It's huge, and it's all of the major buildings are connected, and it runs along with the subway, and there's like literally like a mall and stores and restaurants down there. It's quite impressive.
And most of the point of that is so you don't have to go out in the cold in the dead of winter, right?
Yep. I believe the entire point of that is because of that. It's quite interesting. I got to go there for when I was judging Magic. I was like, I would like to go there and see a friend and get my eyeball enrolled for their thing. And it was yeah, it's very interesting. Very much underground. Very long. We walked like the whole length of it.
Judging Magic the Gathering or Magic?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering.
Acts.
At a Grand Prix in Toronto. That was a few years ago. Don't really do that anymore. Nobody's doing that right now.
Virtually.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to see a virtual GSR.
Yeah.
And what we can do with it.
It's gonna be.
Alright, so your next task
neat.
is to figure out the whole full simulation immersion stuff. Full sensory immersion.
Oh yeah.
You know, like Matrix style.
Of course. Just plug in and whoosh. And then the GSR says, hey, can we add some slot machines in that actually work?
I mean, for furries, it's less of a swoosh and more of a floof.
Yeah.
Plug in and floof.
The like actual working slot machines thing is real hard when it's going to end up at all on the internet. That gets real sticky real fast.
Well, yeah.
So
Not a Valve.
I'm sure they would love nothing more than for people to be able to continue playing a slot machine from inside their hotel room.
Oh yeah.
But that is not currently a thing that you can do.
Not quite.
Yet.
We'll see when the gaming control board decides to finally come up with a way that that's deemed acceptable.
Runs out of revenue, and they'll be like, "Shit, now what do we do?"
Now what?
Casinos are like, we can just do this other thing. We'd be happy to give you money.
Yeah.
I have not been I've not been impressed by the mask enforcement in Las Vegas.
No,
It's just
but
as
I mean,
bad here.
I think anybody could have guessed at that also.
I haven't been impressed by the mask enforcement here, but I would have a hard time being impressed by the mask enforcement because I've not really gone into any casinos. So I can't be impressed by it because I haven't gotten to observe it.
Somebody could send you a picture.
Mm.
We went to the GSR when it reopened, and people were wearing their masks. Everyone was wearing them for about, I'd say, 30 minutes, which is all the time it took for the casino to smell like smoke again.
Oh, but for 30 glorious minutes, it
For
didn't smell
30
like
glorious
cigarette
minutes,
smoke?
it was amazing.
It actually didn't smell like cigarette smoke.
Exactly.
It's decent up here. Not perfect, but people are pretty good. The flight school's interesting. Because you walk past the restaurant in the more conservative area that is airport restaurants fill up with old people usually. But they're
I mean,
mostly
within our
enforcing.
con space, we can be more demanding that people wear their masks, but like you're still going to get people who can't or won't and say they can't, or take it off to take a drink or eat some food or whatever. It's like it will not be perfect.
We let them slip off sometimes in flight because like I wear glasses and it's more important to be able to see.
Right.
Which airport are you flying out of?
S-43, Harvey Field. It's just a few miles east of Payne.
Today I learned there's a restaurant there.
Uh-huh. A lot of small airports have restaurants. There's a restaurant there. There's actually quite an impressive flight school. I think it's one of the bigger ones in the area. They have everything up through commercial twins and rotor wing, a bunch of instructors. And occasionally the military just comes and flies around. They were doing Army helicopter practice last or 2 weeks ago or whatever. They're just like, oh, there's 2 military helicopters with weapon hardpoints just flying the circuit. Okay.
So I guess we're done with the meeting at this point. People are free to jump over to the lounge channel if they want to just continue chatting. But I think it's covered everything I want to cover. So I will say meeting adjourned.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.